Hello everyone and welcome to Efficient Gaming. We are at Monster Week 17 in The Witcher Monster Slayer, and this week is all about legendary relicts. So we've got 4 legendary monsters this week, which is new. We've never had that before. The most we've had I think is 1 or 2 during the Mid-Invane event over Christmas. So I think this is just Spocko still testing out different things that they can do during the monster weeks and seeing what we like and what we don't like and what we respond well to, and most importantly probably what we spend our money on, because that's obviously what they're going for. They want to create a great game and they want to make money from it, like any business. But we've got some time tasks to go through this week, so let's check it out. Okay, so as always, we are going to start by looking at what's new this week. So it's loading for me because I haven't even looked at it yet. Monster Week, Legendary Relics. Hey, I got the title right. It seems that the Legendary Relics have decided to gather together this week and use their forces to terrorize our homes. Challenge yourself with timed tasks to prepare for the incoming battle. Be strong, my faith is with you. He never signs off as Master Witcher anymore. I don't know if he's supposed to or not, or are we just supposed to assume that that's him? But anyway. Cool, so I got the title of the week right. That's good without looking at it. And I have looked, and this is literally every single legendary relic that there is. So we've got all of them this week. So let's have a very quick overview of the time tasks. There's going to be kill 2 of each type. And then we've got some more specifics for each of the monsters, which I'm going to cover in more detail when we go through that. So if we just check out the bestiary and look at, because it didn't actually tell us where any of them were found this week, which is what it normally does in the What's New section. So we're just going to look at them all individually. Most of them are the same because I actually had a look for this morning. So, relics, usually found in green areas, old growth forests, woods, groves, and meadows. Prefers to avoid human settlements and significantly increased activity during rain, or precipitation such as rain. Then we've got the Dung Shaelmaar, which for me, this was the rarest monster that I was looking for today. It's also, unfortunately, the one that I need the most of, so that's pretty typical. This one is usually found in green areas, old growth forests, woods, groves, and meadows. Prefers to avoid human settlements, significantly increased activity during precipitation such as rain, nocturnally active. Right, I must have missed that this morning, so that is why I did not find any out today, and the only time I found it was on my way home. So this is something else that I might have to hunt the rest of my bestiary completion medals down during the night, so that's good to know. But it's still out in the old growth forests and the meadows and stuff. Then we move down a bit further to our Tormented. Now this one was one of the few that's found in a different environment. So common in all natural environment types, increased activity in fog. So this one I found sort of just around in what I would call the suburban areas. It's around rarely, but pretty much anywhere. Where the office is where I work, there's sort of some shops around, there's some houses, there's not really many parks apart from the big park that I walk to up the road, but I found quite a few of these around the office today. And finally we have our Tarry Chort, which again is similar to the other ones, usually found in green areas, old growth forests, woods, groves, and meadows. Prefers to avoid human settlements. This one has increased activity in fog and increased activity around dawn. Now, I don't think I was playing specifically around dawn, because that was, I mean, it's early, but it's not early, and I'm getting ready for work and traveling to work at that point. But I found some in the park today, and what I will do now is I will show you a quick video of what I did to look for the monsters. Okay, so we're in the park. I've sort of just entered, and this is where we're going to be looking. I've crafted myself some falcon potions, and I'm going to be crafting some more because this is what we're going to be mainly using to look for the monsters. As you can see with some of the monsters over there, I've already used one or two, and it just completely lights it up and shows you everything that's around. So if we move over to our legendary tab and just have a look at what's around, I think they're all ancient Leshens. So let's go and hunt down some of those. Okay, so that's our general hunting strategy. What we're going to do now is run through the time tasks and give you some tips on those. So the first one being kill an ancient Leshen. Now I'm going to do these kind of in order. The only one I haven't got anything specific for this video is of the Dung Shaelmaar, but I did manage to find one, and so I did a perfect battle on that, and I'll release that as a separate video. So if you want to see me fighting the Dung Shaelmaar, that will be out in my perfect only perfects playlist as a short, so you can watch that on regular YouTube or on your phone on the shorts. But anyway, so the first of the more difficult tasks, so kill an ancient Leshen, kill a tormented, kill a Tarry Chort. I'm going to show you examples of all those. Kill a Dung Shaelmaar. There'll be an example of that in my perfect videos. Kill any legendary monster from the Relic class without dealing any fire or kinetic damage. So this video we are actually going to attempt both this one and doing the 5 perfect parries at the same time. So we're going to do it on an ancient Leshen with no fire or kinetic damage, and we're going to do our 5 perfect parries. So it's all about preparation. We're going to be using the Manticore Steel Sword for the cooldown reduction, and because the monster's weak to silver, and along with our Manticore armor, as always, White Gull Potion, we are going to be using both a Swift and a Swallow. And this is the first time I've done one of these legendaries in a little while, so I am not perfectly down with the timing for everything. I got it obviously by the time I managed to do my only perfects video, but this is really more than anything else taking our time and doing a horrible job, but doing the 5 or more. I always like to do more because the last thing I want it to do is not count perfect parries. So we've made a few already, and I've gotten the hang of it just a little bit more now. And so we're still taking the monster down slowly in between waiting for our opportunities to do the parries. But yeah, we're just gonna sort of take it very slow now because he hasn't got that much health left, and neither do we. Just until we get those last few parries just over 5, just to make sure. I've missed quite a few in a row here, and I was starting to worry a little bit about my health, but when you actually make those perfect parries, it almost takes your health down none. And as you can see, we're actually gaining health back now that we're making those perfect parries. So the White Gull Potion along with the Swift and Swallow is an amazing combination for survivability, and that's what we're going to be using throughout most of the videos on these. But we made it. We didn't cast any spells that caused us to deal any fire or kinetic damage, so we've completed that task. We've obviously killed one ancient Leshen, so we've done that one, and we've done the first one of 3, and I do this on 3 separate monsters, of the kill a legendary monster while doing 5 perfect parries against it. So the next example we've got is another one of the slightly more difficult ones. We're going to be killing a legendary monster from the Relic class without dealing any melee damage. So I'm going to play that for you now. I'm just showing you that that is what we're attempting. It's one of the few tasks that I've got left at this point. I did this actually after I did all the rest of the challenges. So again, we're going to be using our Manticore, oh that's right, Manticore Steel Sword for this because I wanted the cooldown reduction. So we're not actually hitting it because we're doing no melee. So I'm just going to throw a basic bomb in there because this is weak to kinetic. There's no necessity for any particular bombs, and it's literally just to make it a little bit faster and throw away a couple of the basic bombs that I've got in my inventory, having collected them as rewards from the other quests. The The rest of the build is Swift and Swallow from basic survivability, but in general we are going to be casting spells and doing our perfect parries. Now, in a lot of these videos that I've done for you in the past, these have all had to be done from spell damage or bomb damage, but because I've actually got enough skill points now and invested in the perfect parry skill from the let me just find out exactly what it's called for you. So from the combat skill tree, I invested in hit reflection, which when you get a perfect parry reflects 30% of the damage back at the opponent. So when I make one of these perfect parries, you can actually see that we are doing 360 damage back to the monster from it attacking us, which is a very reasonable amount of damage. It's actually more damage than I can do from a critical hit, a perfect critical hit that is, after filling up the yellow bar at the top, as you can see there. But obviously we're not going to be doing that because we are doing this entirely with no melee. I'm kind of surprised that the defending and the hit reflection doesn't count as melee, but I'm really glad that it doesn't, and that was half the reason I was holding off on buying that skill for so long, because I was paranoid. But we've had a number of weeks now where that hasn't caused problems with the quests, so I thought it was time to get it. As you can see, we managed to do that, so we will move on to the next one. So this is now just finishing off the 5 perfect parries, and I thought rather than just give one example of that, I would do one example per monster, apart from the Dung Shaelmaar, which was quite difficult to find today. So I'm just showing you that we're attempting our second one of those, and we're going to do it on a Tormented. So for this one, I am using the Incandescent Heart, and I am doing that because apart from the perfect parries and the survivability that we've got with the Swift Swallow and White Gold Potion, I just want to be able to defeat the monster quite quickly. Other than that, so in between getting our perfect parries, which having had a little bit of practice now, I am reasonably alright at, although I'm going to miss quite a few in a row now, I reckon. But we get the monster down to most of the way there, and we sort of stop and just focus on the parries. So I think I've done 1 or 2 already, so I've sort of got the timing down. Now this one seems to have 3 different attack animations. He's got a quick one, which was that attack right there. He's got sort of a medium wind up and hit, which I think was that one there, and then he's got a long wind up and hit. Which if I see it separately I will show you, but so far we've definitely seen the short and the medium one. That was the short one again. Come on, do a long one. I might be imagining it, but as you can see, some of the time I think it was better to sort of pre-block on the first swing, just so that you're ready to re-block again on the second swing. That was sort of part of my strategy for getting a decent amount of those. But as you can see, we did manage to do those 5 perfect parries on that monster, or more. So we'll move on to the last one, which is 5 perfect parries, and we're going to be doing this on a Tarry Chort, which I found the easiest, and I don't know if it's because I've been fighting a lot of Tiger Fiends recently, and this has a similar attack animation to that. As well as regular fiends and regular Chorts, but yeah, this I found reasonably easy. So we're just going to be using our Manticore Steel Sword because it's the best thing to use against this. I don't know why I cast that Quen spell then, because that kind of stops me from being able to get perfect parries, because even if you parry while the Quen spell is active, it does not count. So we're just going to stop here, and we're doing them pretty easily, so we're just going to do all our perfect parries now. This one seems to have a couple of different attack animations as well, but they're all timed very similarly, and for me personally it was easy enough to anticipate when they were coming. So we're going to do a bit more damage to it, and then, unless I've already counted 6 by this point, no, see, we're just going to do a couple more of those perfect parries, and maybe one more just before we finish it off. There we go. So we did plenty. That's definitely more than our minimum of 5. And that will show because I'm pretty sure at the end of this one we have finished our task. Yes, there we go. So I've killed one of each. And we've managed to finish that task off. Cool, so the only example I didn't give you was 5 perfect parries on a Dung Shaelmaar, but kind of don't feel like I need to. You can either use the examples that I've given you and do it on one of each of the monsters here, or if you find the Tarry Chort particularly easy, then just continue to do it on that one. These legendaries at my level I found quite easy to do without alchemy. I'm really glad that this week it didn't force us to use any relict oils, because that means I can keep my stack ready for when they do ultimately need us to use them next time. Oils are something that I kind of also like to use in a Nemeton, because one, sometimes I am traveling past them and I'll only get one go at them. Obviously only if there's a legendary monster in the Nemeton, otherwise they're quite easy. And I just want to make sure that I get it done, so it just makes it that little bit easy. Yeah, so this was a good week in my opinion for bestiary completion. This morning on the way in on my travels, I did also see, now this seems completely unrelated to the event, quite a few Shriekers from the Draconids class, which was interesting, and I was very happy to add those towards my rare medal trophy in the rare section of my bestiary. But I don't know why they were around. It seems that when you increase the spawns of legendary monsters, a lot of the other monsters, especially of that type, seem to appear. So for example, I saw quite a lot of Howlers today, which I was adding to my bestiary in the rare section of the relics. I saw quite a few, and again, this might just be because I was out adventuring in the park, but I'm pretty sure there was more around than normal of these as well. So Howlers, Chorts, Tiger Fiends, there was plenty of Leshen Hounds, and I've now nearly finished that off in my bestiary. What else did I see? Basically, there was some Gurnakoras and even some Spriggans this evening. So everything relic seems to be boosted now. So if you've got time, definitely go out there and work on your bestiary. Let me know what you think of the event this week, whether it was easy, whether it was difficult, whether you love the fact that there's 4 legendaries out there, or whether you're finding it difficult because you're a bit newer to the game and you sort of want a bit easier monsters for the monster weeks, and maybe build up towards the legendaries. But all thoughts are welcome, so please let me know how you're getting on. I'm personally loving it. I love filling out my bestiary, and I love getting the skill points from that and leveling up my character to be just that little bit stronger, so that everything going on is a little bit easier going forward. But that's just my thoughts. I'd love to hear what you think as well. If you're looking for a really good way to fight each of the monsters that were featured in the Legendary Leshen week this week, I will be also putting out a video for each, a perfect example of fighting each one of the monsters that are part of the week this week. So 1 Ancient Leshen, 1 Tormented, 1 Tarry Chort, and 1 Dung Shaelmaar. I define a perfect battle not necessarily by getting everything completely right, but by making sure that anytime I can get a perfect parry or a perfect defense, apart from the spells that I'm using, that those are perfect. So that's a perfect battle to me, and ideally with no alchemy either. So check out those videos if you want a good example of fighting one of each of those monsters, and we'll see you all again next week. Catch you later. Bye.